Hello, I am trying a little bit of an experiment. So there are still all kinds of people in my house, and access to my computer with the webcam is kind of limited because my wife is doing actual important science work and not just talking to her imaginary friends on the internet. So I have to improvise. Either I have to wait till really late at night, or I can try for the first time to record these self-shot YouTube videos on my phone. Now, granted, I've done videos of the kids and pigs before in other locations with my phone. I've never actually flipped the camera around and just stared at it to see what would happen. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Who knows? The beautiful thing is I could probably just watch this on my phone to figure out how well it worked. It's not what I'm going to do. I don't waste content. This is going up on the internet. Right or wrong, train wreck or bigger train wreck, it's going up there. My hope is this actually works so that during the day, when everybody else in the house is being loud and productive, I can sneak away and record this stuff. My podcast co-host, Steve Olivas, he's had like 15 different recording studios, and that's just a fancy word for various closets that he records in. He goes and he buys a 10 billion square foot house, and his wife lets him use one walk-in closet. Which I make fun of pretty extensively because, if you're not making fun of Steve, what are you doing with your life? But I'm not doing much better. I thought I was doing better. I was recording originally in my own office at the very back of the house. Yes, it was the smallest room in the house. Yes, I shared it with pigs, which is a plus, not a minus. But it was an actual office. It was not a closet. Then I got moved out into the big room, which we still don't have a name for. It's the giant room when you first walk into our old Victorian house. There's a staircase bisecting it and a big dancing mirror on one wall. Some people call it a parlor. Some people call it a front room. We've been here since 2008, and we still have not agreed on a name for that room. So, yeah, we've really been very diligent about that. We have an entire section of our house that we can't accurately describe with words. If that's not troubling, I don't know what is. But in that room, I was put in one corner. We moved my computer stuff out. We made the pig room into a mud room. We were originally going to put all the coats and jackets in there. My wife was so excited we were going to hide the mess. And then the pigs attacked those coats and jackets. One pig in particular, Gilly, the bigger one. She went in there and she grabbed them and she pulled them down. And every day she would ruin a new backpack or a new coat. Not that the backpacker coat was new, just that she was ruining different things. You have to understand, she didn't just go after one backpack and then repeatedly ruin it until it was completely destroyed. She'd ruin each one a little bit to anger each of the kids in progression. That pig was diabolical. So eventually we moved the big cubbyhole thing out of the pig room, and it is now in that unnamed front room across from the staircase. And Gilly and Luna now have that back room all to themselves. Other than the beer fridge. They do share it with the beer fridge still, which, let's be honest, if you've got to have a roommate, a beer fridge is a pretty good one. And that left me out in the open, in the unnamed room, struggling to find time to record. But now I've come to possibly my greatest studio ever, depending on how this recording turns out. I am up in our master bedroom suite. We finished our attic a few years ago. Those of you who followed my Instagram stories a long, long time ago, I used to do regular updates on the progress, and then I stopped because it was just depressing. Our contractor actually eventually just stopped coming out when he was like 99% of the way done. So there's still a few cosmetic odds and ends that actually have not been finished off. My father-in-law was supposed to come over this weekend and help me finish them, and then he had other things to do. So I was ghosted by my contractor and by my father-in-law. I'm on a roll. But the point being, this room up here is the perfect place to record. I am on a separate floor from everybody else. I'm not on the first floor or the second floor. I am in our exclusive third floor, which sounds really fancy, but it's just a bedroom and a bathroom. And if anyone wants to come get to me, they have to climb a staircase and go through a door. I have warning and I have protection. If it came down to it, I could lock that door and they couldn't get in. I mean, my 4-year-old Waffle probably could. No door could stop her. She's basically a human battering ram. But the rest of them would be dramatically slowed down. And that's something. Also, the light when I record downstairs in that unnamed front room, it's really weird because my computer is directly on the other side of a window. And sometimes a day that's okay, and sometimes a day it is like boiling my face off. That's why half of my face is always glowing white in those videos, which is fine because in general, the less definition you see me with, the better. I look better as a blank slate. You can just kind of fill in the facial features you'd want to see there. Just assume I'm more attractive than I really am. Like, that's a win for everybody, mostly for me. But this way, I can actually record in decent light. We've got 2 windows on the other side of the room, and they seem to be doing a decent job. It seems like I can see myself, but every time I look away from this little camera hole right there, it looks like I'm doing a shifty eye thing off to the side, like somebody's sneaking in here. I had to really try to find a wall with nothing incriminating on it. You don't realize how many parts of your house you don't want people to see until you start regularly recording videos and posting them on the internet. I had to position this at just the right angle so you wouldn't find all the little, just the little tiny defects over the place that I've learned to live with over time because it's better than fixing them, but that you would detect right away. Because let me tell you, if there's something wrong with your house, the internet will know it. The other advantage of this is I could record in the middle of the day when I still look semi-decent. Later on, we're going to go to the pool for like 4 hours, and I'm going to come out looking like a drowned rat. And then I would have an option. I could either record one of these videos looking the worst I could possibly look, or I could go and take a second shower and do my hair, and that just sounds like a nightmare. So instead, what I would do is I'd record a video looking awful because it was convenient, and then it would be on there forever. And my kids, who now repeatedly watch those videos for some reason, would then see me looking like a drowned rat over and over again until the end of time, or until they finally realize there are much better things on YouTube. So overall, I like this space. I really hope this video turns out. I hope you can hear the sound, because that means I can do a lot more of these and my life will get much simpler. Let's find out if it worked. Oh, I was gonna end the video right there, but I'm sure many of you stopped watching when you froze it. I've told myself I got to keep mentioning these books every time. I don't have them come out that often. I don't do Patreon or any of that other stuff. And all of my free content that comes out is powered by books. So I'm going to mention one of these in every video if I remember, which is a big if. Today I'm going to talk briefly about Bare Minimum Parenting, the ultimate guide to not quite ruining your child. You've seen how little effort I put into these videos, yet they still kind of come out okay and provide some entertainment value. Think about taking the same approach to your children. It'll probably turn out okay and in a lot easier way than actually going overboard and getting the expensive video camera and doing all the crazy work. We all end up in the same place eventually. That's my whole philosophy for parenting. My whole goal with my kids was to raise them to be able to support themselves, not blame me for everything, and not be serial killers. And this book goes through step by step to how to get your kids to those 3 bare minimum requirements. Again, this is the book. It's all over the internet. Check it out. And if you feel like it, and if you can hear me, hit that subscribe button. Catch you next time.